Now, beloved in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, beloved in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, this is a very urgent message called Signs of Christ's Second Coming. Signs of Christ's Second Coming. Now, in the book of Luke chapter 13, it delineates specific signs of the second coming of Christ. Specific signs of the second coming of Christ. The manner of his coming and the signs upon the earth that should be happening when his coming is nigh. It states this, it says, Jesus met with his disciples and he asked them, what shall be the sign of thy coming and end of the world? That's what the disciples asked him. And Jesus said to them, there should not be one stone left upon another that should not be thrown down. Jesus was talking about the destruction of the temple. He would not particularly talk about the second coming at that time, because the second coming would not happen until many centuries later and years later. But he talked about the destruction of Jerusalem, because to them that was like their mini second coming. And he talked about the abomination, desolation. Now, the abomination, desolation in their day was when the Roman guard put their flag around the ancient temple. And the abomination, desolation of our days, when the son-in-law comes into this country by enforced Sunday legislation. Well, in the book of Mark 13, Mark is right before Luke and right after Matthew, and I believe it's Mark 13, and it goes particularly into the signs of Christ's incoming. It says, when you shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Dan the prophet, standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains. Now what is it saying? When you shall see enforced Sunday observance, when you shall see Tammuz worship, Christmas and Easter and Halloween and all these Valentine's Day and Easter egg hunts and all these things in the churches in our last days, when you shall see them cutting down Christmas trees on Christmas time and Christmas lights, when you shall see Sunday service even in our Seventh-day Adventist churches, when you shall see makeup and jewelry and lipstick and them selling food and having games on the Sabbath in churches and voting rallies on the Sabbath, like I do right now in some of our churches, when you shall see the surge in our churches on Sunday, the abomination that maketh desolate, and let him that is on the housetop not go down into the house, neither enter therein to take anything out of his house, and let him that is on the field, in the field, not turn back again for to take up his garment. But woe to them that are with child, and to them which give suck in those days, and pray that your flight be not in the winter time. Now, we have a blessing now, brother. This is the time for us to run. We're leaving the winter time right now. We're in spring. We're almost in early spring, which is February 18th. The spring will be here in about exactly almost a month and 2 days. March 20th. It's time for us to run, brother. Just like Dr. Isaac Olatunji talked about, this spring could be the time to run to this country, because imminent Sunday law could be passed right around this time. Even one of my uncles on my father's side, who's a Baptist, not a Baptist, an apostolic, said there could be an imminent Sunday law passed within 6 months. He told me that at my graduation around spring of last year, which was in May. So let's see that, June, July, August, September, October, November. It could have been passed November of last year, but God delayed it because we all prayed. The church prayed. And we know there was actually a green Sabbath coming through on that time when the nations met with the man of this empire, Pope Francis, on the G20 summit to pass a green Sabbath. And so in the Trilateral Commission tried to unite, because Revelation says the nations shall give the power to use for a space of half an hour, that's 14 days, or about a week space. But God's days are coming. And like last day, Vince said, we should pray for a few more years to avert the threat and danger. So God gave us a little time. But now we're in the springtime, beloved. Now is the time for us to flee to the mountains, into outpost centers and sanitariums to get preparatory to go into the mountains for these last days. Now is the time for us not to do much work out on Sunday morning, physical labor, do missionary work, publishing ministry, but not make the Sunday law enthusiasts angry by us working on Sunday. We can stop work on Sabbath. It's not a sin to go to church on Sunday, beloved. If they ask us to go to church, we can hand out ministry, healing, health. Let the medical missionary go ahead. That's why I said the medical missionary is an entering wedge. Because we're fighting over, we have a COVID crisis right now. We can go to the churches, hand out ministry healings, hand out 11,000 remedies book, hand out true education book called the Broken Blueprint, hand out health literature. We don't have to hand out the more objectionable message books for our favorite, like Great Controversy and Sons of Law right now. Hand out Christ object lessons. Hand out desire visions. Hand out steps to Christ. Make our first day Christian brethren happy, hospitable Christians, beloved. We can do that. We don't have to make them angry, great controversialists right now. And we can do hospitality ministry to them. So we need to be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. And we need to hit him with the Woman Christian Temperance Junior Ministry. There's a very prominent medical missionary man who's told me to use my page to promote WD disease messages and the medical mission work. Most Congressman Father, let us promote the medical mission work. Let us promote the message given by WD disease left, right, or center. Let us finish the work in these last days when the time of trouble is here and finish the work and flee to the country. Jesus Christ, my prayer, amen. Maranatha, God bless you, family.